it in. No time for that doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Diffuse, mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me, keep on running, toes they gon' take them. Used to lose, built to win, applied myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win, apply myself.
Back to CTC, I am your gracious host, Carl, and I'm back for another episode, an emergency pod. College basketball is around the corner, but we got some emergency news in the college basketball atmosphere. Coach Tony Bennett is set to retire later today. Illustrious career for the UVA head coach. He had an extension signed that it lasted to 2029-2030 season. But he announced, or he will be announcing that 2024, he will be retiring. Before we talk about his success, his accolades from a head coach to now, gotta ask that you like, comment, share, subscribe this video. It helps the channel, it helps the network, it helps my channel, CTC, by way of the Refuse to Lose network. Also, I'm gonna go over the shows that this channel has to offer, this network, We have the main channel featuring Tomo, Dave, and Joe every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 7 o'clock Eastern time. We got BWT, who just went live. Live ended about 30, 40 minutes ago. All your baseball content through there. Again, Teddy, tough loss. But the Yankees are still up 2-1 against the Guardians in the ALCS. We have, also got to shout out my boy Gotani. Gotani, 2 bombs. 1 today, 1 game 3. 2 games, 2 bombs for the boy Gotani. Next, we got FFC, Fantasy Football with Coach Coombs, who went live early yesterday morning, Wednesday morning. He fantasy news, start, sit, suggestions, who to add, stuff like that. Listen to Coach Coombs, Fantasy Football. RBO, Real Ballers Only, NBA content. He just dropped a 14 preview. He did the Hawks, Jazz. He did the Cavs. I always forget the last one. I forgot the last team he did, but he did 4. I can't remember the last one. I'm trying hard. If I get back to it if I remember it. But he is dropping his NBA previews. Be on the lookout for them. We got Dave's Doghouse, highlights and lowlights of sport in general. Like Gotani. That'd be a dog. He'd be in the field. Low light, Game 5 target school ball. He'd be in the doghouse for his Game 5. Well, really for the way he ended Game 5, but anyway, or the Saints defense tonight will be in the doghouse because, oh my God, that was pathetic. We got in the red corner boxing featuring Ty, Ricky, and Tomo. All your boxing content through there. We got Kings Talk with Joe Jordan. All your Sacramento Kings Talk through Dro on that channel. And last but certainly not least, we have Unfazed featuring JJ and AJ every Tuesday, 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central. Check them out. So far, NFL, they're doing pick'ems and going over the week prior to that Tuesday. So they went over week 6 this past Tuesday. That's all the shows we have on the network. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. And if you like what you're listening to, stick with us. Now we got to unfortunately talk about the early retirement of Coach Bennett. Oh, I accidentally hit this. Man, came out of left field. I was at work today. I was just actually finishing up the last job of the day at my job. And I looked, and it made me double take. I said, huh? I saw something about retirement. I said, hold on, what? And I looked at it, and I said, what? Coach Bennett is retiring from UVA? Why? And I was looking, I didn't really see an explanation. All I know is he's just retiring. 5 years left on that contract, 6 years left on the extension he signed a while back, and he's done. He's giving it up. He's hanging it up. And for the moment, a lot of people compared it to Jay Wright, and I would agree with that comparison. He's retiring early like Jay Wright did. Jay Wright kind of retired somewhat like Tony Bennett did. He won 2 natties at Villanova. 2-3 years later, he retired out of nowhere. Cal Neptune takes over. Tony Bennett, I'll get over his accomplishments. I'll get onto his accomplishments and stuff, but years after that natty, he retires. It's unfortunate. I'm going to miss Coach Bennett on the sidelines. He was a key piece to the UVA I've known to love. I'm not a UVA fan, but I've always had a soft spot in my heart for UVA teams because they played a brand of basketball that I like, which is defensive. Now, offensively, oh my God, they can be hard to watch because although they'll constrict you defensively, offensively they'll just go on so many droughts. It's insane. But let's get into his accolades as a coach, and then I'll just give my sentiments as Coach Bennett. But Coach Bennett started his head coaching career at the University of Washington State, where he took over for his dad. He took over Washington State for his dad. Washington State, the year prior to Tony Bennett taking over, they were 11-17, 4-4 in the Pac-10. Not great at all. Tony Bennett takes over. His first year at UVA, he goes 26-8. 26 games, tying the most wins in a season for a Washington State head coach. His first year taking over a pretty poor Washington State team. He goes 26-8. He goes 13-5 in the Pac-10. He makes the NCAA tournament where he loses in the second round to Vanderbilt. So he gets a win in the tournament. He makes the tournament. Boom. His second year at Washington State, he goes 26-9, back-to-back 26-win seasons. He's also a great start as a head coach. This is like the prologue. I think that's what it's called, the prologue. Excuse me. Or this is foreshadowing. There we go. Better word. This is foreshadowing how it's going to be at Virginia. But he goes back-to-back 26-win seasons at Washington State. He makes the tournament again. And not only does he make the tournament, he advances further. He makes the Sweet 16 at Washington State. Absolutely ginormous start to his college coaching career as a head coach. The next year, he would take a step back. He would go 17-16, but he did recruit one of the bigger pieces to ever come to Washington State in Klay Thompson. He did recruit him to come to Washington State. Just had a bad year, but still above 500 year. 17-16. Now, the year after that, UVA contacted him about the job. He took the interview, but he felt like he was being unloyal to Washington State, so he decided to decline. But when he was calling to decline, then this is the alleged story that I hear. When he was calling to decline, his wife sensed that he really didn't want to do it, so she told him to hang up the phone. I guess they talked about it, and he decided to accept the Virginia job. So he takes over Virginia basketball in 2009. Virginia, the year prior to Tony Bennett coming, only had 10 wins on the season. The first year Tony Bennett takes over UVA, he wins 15 games. He goes 15-16, a game below 500. He goes, I forgot to write the ACC record down. But the second year, he finishes above 500. It's been a minute since they finished above 500. They go 16-15 at UVA. And after he went 16-15, the record never looked like that ever again. He never looked back. He never looked back. His third year, he went 22-10, 9-7 in the ACC play, and he lost in the first round of the tournament. He lost in the first round of the tournament. His fourth year, he makes the NIT at 23-12, so he has a better record, 11-7 in ACC play, but he doesn't make the college basketball tournament. He makes the NIT, where he loses, I believe, in the quarterfinals in the NIT. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of mind blowing. He had a better record, but that's just how college basketball shakes out sometimes. Sometimes they'll make, sometimes teams, it's been times when Tulsa, I think, was like close to 500, and they made the tournament. And there's been times where teams, like, they'll have 20 wins and miss the tournament. So it's just how the tournament shakes out sometimes. But Tony Bennett makes the tournament, the NIT, his fourth year. And every year past that, minus the 2021-2022 season, which I didn't even remember they made the NIT until I started doing my research, he made the tournament, which at Virginia is crazy because Virginia's not a basketball school. And Virginia's not even a sports school for real. If there are, it's like lacrosse, I think like soccer, I think they're good at. They're not a basketball or football school. So what Tony Bennett did in that short amount of time at UVA was unprecedented. Tony Bennett, while at UVA, had 4 30-win seasons, including a 35-win season, the 2018-2019 year where he won the national championship, winning UVA's only national championship. He won their only national championship in 2018-2019 with Cal Guy and Ty Jerome and DeAndre Hunter and the boys. They beat Texas Tech in the conference tournament championship, in the NCAA tournament championship. Texas Tech beat my MSU boys to get there. But nonetheless, UVA did win that tournament. Now, he did have the blunder the year prior, being the first, not the only, because there's been another 16 seed to win. But he was the first number 1 seed to lose to the 16 seed UMBC. That was the year prior to the Natty. But what a bounce back to come back from losing to 16th seed UMBC to the next year winning it all. That's the greatest comeback you can ask for. You win 35 games. You break UVA's most wins in a season, and you win the Natty. That's insane. So Tony Bennett, man, great coach. Great coach. Now, if you remember, right, this is just another testament to the greatness of Tony Bennett. Washington State did play in this year's tournament. I believe they got bounced by Iowa State. That was this year's tournament. The last time Washington State made the tournament was in 2008, coached by Coach Bennett. Coach Bennett, prior to 2024, was the last time that Washington State had a coach take them to the tournament. Just a testament to how quick and how great he could turn your program around. Coach Bennett, man, just an awesome coach. I got some accolades here for y'all. I got a couple. While at Washington State, he was the 2007, Coach of the Year. That's AP Naismith. He was Coach of the Year 07. He was the Pac-10 Coach of the Year in 07 at Washington State. So he got that. 2 out of 3 seasons, 26 wins. He never had a losing season at Washington State in the 3 years he coached there. And he made the tournament 2 years out of the 3 years he coached there. Now at UVA, got some more accolades. He had 6 ACC regular season titles. Yes, count them, 6. He had ACC title in 2014. He had the ACC title in 2015. This is regular season. It's not the tournament. It's regular season. So this is the best regular season in the ACC. So 14, 15, 2018, 2019, natty year, 2021, and 2023, which was, they didn't have it last year. It was the year before last. So 6 regular season ACC titles. And that's amongst the likes of Duke, North Carolina. I think Maryland left 14. I think they went to the Big Ten by then. But yeah, Duke, North Carolina, NC State at times. Not Syracuse. He had to go against the Syracuses when Jim Boeheim was in his prime, Syracuse. So it wasn't like he's in a weak conference. The ACC is real top heavy. Got some of the powerhouses of college basketball, and he was able to win 6 ACC regular season titles. On top of the 6 ACC regular titles, he got 2 ACC championships, 2014 and 2018. And he has 4 ACC coaches of the year. He got ACC Coach of the Year in 2014, ACC Coach of the Year 2015, ACC Coach of the Year in 2018 and 2019. And then he has another Naismith AP Coach of the Year. He got that in 2018. Coach of the Year in 2018. That's Naismith, AP, all that. Out of everybody, he got Coach of the Year in 2018. Unfortunately, no. He got it in 2018. But like I said, man, great coach. And that's all the accolades I got written down. That's great to have. Not even it wasn't even 20. It hasn't been 20. Oh, I have to give his overall record. Excuse me. He has an overall coaching record of 433 wins and 169 losses. He only has one losing season out of all his coaching career, and that was his first year at UVA where he went 15-16. That's his only losing season as a coach. And if you think of UVA now, you might go, well, he's at UVA, that's easy. No, he built UVA to the UVA you think of now. UVA then was nothing. Think of Bama now, and then think of Bama then. Bama then, before Nick Saban, was not good after Bear Bryant. Bama now is powerhouse. But before Nick Saban came, it was not that. That's Tony Bennett and UVA. Tony Bennett now, you think tournament, maybe Sweet 16, because sometimes they do be getting bounced early. ACC, top ACC team, top 10, top 15, top 5 defense in the country. Droughts on offense. That wasn't UVA back then. When you think UVA back then, you think cakewalk, easy win, blowout, walk-ons might play. Hopefully their non-con is bad so they can get some wins. Don't slip up. Don't look past this team to the next team because they could creep up on you. But you didn't think, oh, we in for a dogfight tonight. You ain't think, oh, this is one of the best teams in the country. Oh, this is one of the best teams in the ACC. You didn't think that until Tony Bennett got there and turned that around. And I'm not going to lie. One of the first UVA teams I remember watching was with Malcolm Brogdon, was with Joe Harris, was with London Parentes, was with Anthony Gill, was with Akil Mitchell. Yeah, man. Mike Tobey, Evan Nolte, I think. It was just, man, it was. I remember that team. I remember they won a couple games, and I was rooting for them. I was behind them until they played us. I think they played us and lost, but I was rooting for UVA. Now I like the team. They played defense. Joe Harris could shoot the leather off the ball. Malcolm Brogdon was a bucket in college, just like he's a bucket. Well, I think he's currently hurt, but he was a bucket in the league. I used to rave about Malcolm Brogdon at UVA. London Parentes was one of my favorite point guards in the country at UVA as a freshman. So I just remember those UVA teams, and then they would get better. They got guys like Isaiah Wilkins, Justin Anderson, Devin Hall started to play. They just got better. And then, like I said, on to the natty year, you got Kyle Guy, Ty Jerome, DeAndre Hunter, who was a lotto pick. Yeah, man. Now you look, well, he's gone now, but you think of guys like Ryan Dunn, Kihei Clark, Reese Beckman. So, yeah, man, it's just he built a powerhouse at UVA. One of my favorite coaches in college basketball. He will surely be missed in the college basketball ranks. Just like Jay Wright was, but hopefully they can find somebody to keep them going in the right direction. I do feel like Villanova, Cal Neptune. I don't know, man. I was skeptical then. I'm really skeptical now, but this ain't about that. It's about celebrating Tony Bennett and the 15 years at UVA. That was well coached, well deserved, should be memorized, and hopefully, not hopefully, I should say. Well, I'll say this: hopefully he enjoys retirement. Hopefully he made the right move, and hopefully people don't bash him because he still had 5 years on his contract, and instead celebrate what he brought to UVA, because he brought memories, he brought great basketball, great times, ruckus student sections. He just brought a lot to UVA, and they should be grateful and happy for what he's brought. Hopefully Washington State celebrates him as well. I know it was a short tenure there, only 3 years, but the same thing. Great basketball. He brought you 2 of your only tournament runs. Again, after Tony Bennett, it took y'all 16 years to get back to the tournament. 16 years to get back to the tournament. So hopefully he gets remembered as one of the best, not one of the best, but one of the better college basketball coaches. He's probably one of the best in, would I say my generation? He started in 06, so I guess I would be my generation. I was 12 then, but I would say of the 2000s, he was one of the best coaches of the 2000s. You got Roy Williams, which I think he started earlier than that. I think he was still at like Kansas and stuff in the 90s. Coach K, which he was early in the 90s too, but he was still coaching in the 2000s. Jim Boeheim was still in the 2000s. Who else? Izzo in the 2000s. Yeah, man, he's one of the better. He's one of the best coaches from the Billy Donovan was in the 2000s. Coach Cal, 2000s. So he's up, and I think he's up there with all of them. I think he is. As far as a coach, player developer, I think he's up there with all those guys. But that's all I got for y'all today, man. Just wanted to drop in a quick emergency podcast about Tony Bennett's retirement. Salute to Tony Bennett on a great coaching career he's had. And enjoy retirement, man. Enjoy retirement. I hope it treats you well. I will be back later today, me and Joe. It's just going to be me and Joe. We're going to talk Texas, Georgia. Standalone episode for Texas and Georgia, so y'all be on the lookout for that. We're going to talk about the game, get into it, pick our winner, probably predict the score. I don't know yet, but until tonight, I'm gone. Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.